Let me tell you something that might possibly sound a little bit confronting. There is a part of you that really likes being angry. There's a part of you that likes all of your unhealthy emotions. And a really essential aspect of emotional mastery is learning to accept these things. Because as soon as we start layering on top of whatever we're feeling an extra feeling that whatever we're feeling is wrong, we're going to get into a lot of trouble very quickly. Because whatever you're feeling is real and true for you, whether you want that to be the case or not. So resisting it is just like resisting what is anywhere else in life. It never works. And what you resist persists. So what we must do is accept these aspects of our nature. And a good way to understand this is to maybe understand some of the mechanics of why certain emotions, especially the very intense ones that seem extremely unpleasant to be experiencing, why are those ones also inherently rewarding? When you are angry, you will go into a state, or other heightened emotions, extreme anxiety or fear or terror, whatever. Let's go with anger for now. But no, this is, applicable. These states, they put you into that deeply sympathetic side of your sympathetic versus parasympathetic nervous system state. That's your fight or flight side of things. And when we're in a state of fight or flight, there will be a lot of adrenaline being released. And one of the things which adrenaline does is adrenaline increases dopamine sensitivity. That means that the dopamine that you have around becomes more, it's kind of like if you had like a little amount of something, but you wanted it to go a hell of a lot further. You would increase your sensitivity to that. And that's part of what goes on. That's part of how adrenaline interacts with the molecule dopamine. And we also therefore need to understand what dopamine can be involved in. And it's not just behavior, it's not just motivation. It's also, of course, a lot to do with reinforcement. Not reward, we should be clear on that. It's not quite reward, it's about reinforcement. And that means that when we experience adrenaline, when we go into that fight or flight state, the dopamine that we have is being put to more use, which means that it will be reinforcing even more. You'll be reinforcing whatever state you are in. It will be reinforcing anger. There's a part of you that tends towards anger because every time you're angry, a part of you says, hey, this is great, let's do this again. Chemically. Not consciously necessarily, but chemically, a part of that is going on for you. And especially when those intense emotions fade, you get the relief. Oh, I'm so angry. Now I feel better. Huge amount of dopamine then gets released in response to the relief of discomfort. And then your brain and your body goes, oh wow, whatever we just did, it resulted in a huge amount of relief of discomfort. That's really good. Let's make sure we do that again. So what was it that we did? Let's make sure we get this right. We got really angry and then we got better. That's the bit that's important. That whole thing gets reinforced. Not just staying calm, but getting angry and then calming down. So that bit gets reinforced. And that means next time that an opportunity presents itself, some very deep, very hardwired subconscious wiring will say, oh, it's an opportunity for us to do that thing. Get really angry. Oh, that was so good for us last time because afterwards we calmed down and that felt good. But the first step is get angry first. You see? This is already happening for you. Maybe not with anger, maybe with anger. Maybe with fear, anxiety, stress, tension, a lot of the things that we label as uncomfortable or don't want to feel. The relief of those reinforces them happening again next time. I don't want you to freak out and go, oh no, I've hardwired this stuff, I'm screwed. The important thing about everything with brains is that they're changeable. That's what neuroplasticity is all about. Plastic, plasticine, moldable. Your brain can change. You can do that by changing the patterns. even if you have the tendency or you start activating the program of adrenaline, stress, fight or flight, anger, or whatever, that might begin and it will expect to run its course unless you seize conscious control. Unless you put yourself back in that pilot seat, that driver's seat, and decide how the rest of the pattern plays out. And the best thing you can do is to let it go. Just remove yourself from that whole sequence of events, change the subject in your mind. Because the less anger you generate, the less of a relief you'll receive. And so if you can avoid the surge, the rising tide, it'll be easier to not have that happen again in future. You'll be, in fact, reinforcing and more powerfully wiring not going into that state, because that's rewarding too. I hope this is useful. I hope that there's an element of this that allows you to pilot and navigate your emotions better. I hope there's something in what I've said that allows you to understand your experience and therefore gain more control and more emotional mastery. And if that's the case, hit like and please hit subscribe, because you made it this far in the video and I really appreciate your time, and you're going to want to see what else I have to talk about, because I make a new video every single day on this or other, maybe better topics. Stick around. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.